So the Conference of the Birds, as you mentioned, is interesting. It's a fantastic story. It's the story of the birds who come together and they decide they need a leader. They need that their lives would be better if they had like a king. And there's a bird in Farsi, we call it a hudhud. I don't know what the English name of that bird is, but anyway, very wise bird. And she says, the bird that should be king is the phoenix. And I know where the phoenix lives, and if you're ready, I can take you there. But it's a long journey, it's a difficult journey. 1,000 birds say, take us there, we're willing, we're ready. So they set off on this long journey. You know, every story you're ever going to hear, every movie you're ever going to see, any book you're going to read, any life really is the hero's journey. It's starting off from this sense of being limited and scared and, you know, facing all these ups and downs to making this difficult journey. And the number 7 is really quite important. There's all these valleys and hills and, you know, up and down and so on, until eventually you come to know your universal dimension. Anyway, these birds set off, and, you know, a few miles down the road, you know, one of them says, I miss my children. You know, I've come this far, but I can't go any further. So she leaves, and then they move on. And another one says, oh, I buried some jewels somewhere, and I'm worried in case they're going to be stolen while I'm away. I need to go back. And so the birds each represent a personality that human beings have. So attachment, for example, is one of them. You know, desire is another one of them. Greed is another one of them. All of those things. Eventually, to cut a very long story short, only 30 birds make it out of 1,000 to the destination, and they arrive at the top of this very high mountain, and there's a cave there, and that's apparently where the phoenix lives. And so they kind of announce their arrival, and the servant of the phoenix comes and says, you wasted your time. He's not going to see you. And they sit there despondent, these 30 birds all in a circle. And of course, this is a play on words in Farsi. So 30 is see, and bird is morg, and see morg is phoenix. Suddenly they look, there's 30 of them sitting. They are the phoenix. They have found, each one has become a leader. And, you know, leadership is an interesting thing, because people think leader means I have to have 1,000 people following me. No. Leadership means knowing your own mind, knowing yourself. Having gone through and gotten rid of all these limitations and impediments. So that's the story of the 30 birds. Is that okay?
That's great. It's flashing. That also sounds like freedom. So leadership and freedom.
Absolutely. The word freedom actually is very interesting, because it's made up of 2 bits. The free part is priya. In Sanskrit, it means love. And dum has to do with the Anglo-Saxon doomsday, you know, the day when everything is weighed up, so to speak. And so together, put together, it's like the love of wisdom. It's when wisdom will eventually kind of dominate. Not that wisdom ever dominates, but becomes a guide. So, yeah, that is freedom too.
Dominate.
Yeah.